What is up, my dudes? It is 3 a.m. I cannot sleep, so I'm just gonna vibe on the floor. It went on my nose for a little bit. I wanted to go back. Okay, sorry. Anyways, I'm just gonna vibe on the floor, and I'm probably gonna paint my nails because, the problem is that I can't dye my hair right now because of work and stuff like that, and also, I don't know, I just don't know what color I would do. So instead I have to change my nail color because I have to do something to change my appearance. So, it's kind of just, it's a requirement for me, especially at 3 a.m. when I'm feeling impulsive and I can't sleep. So, situation, dog. For sure. For sure. I really, really want an Oreo shake right now. But the idea of having to, get in my car and go drive to McDonald's to get an Oreo shake, or, that just sounds like so much effort. You cannot catch me leaving my room past 2 a.m. Before 2 a.m., I mean, yeah, there's no stopping me. I'll think that I'm not going to, but then I do anyways, so that's pretty cool for me. I wonder if this nail polish will even want to come off. If it doesn't, then I'll just, accept it. It's very sparkly, and sparkly ones, as you all know, of course, are very hard to get off. Oh, that's not so bad, but my little thingy, it's really weird. You stick your hand in it. It's starting to kind of get old, and so it's it's struggling. It doesn't want to cooperate anymore, and I understand because I get that way too, but sometimes in life it just be like that. And maybe it'll just be fun and spicy to just change one nail. Who makes the rules? Why can't I do what I want to? You know what I mean? I'm very bad at painting nails. Alright, we got a darker blue and then a lighter blue. Shout out to Katie for getting me this nail polish. It looks pretty lit. Alright, so we got one thumb done, and I thought it would be a good decision to paint my nails, but I'm just realizing I'm not sure I'm patient enough for it at the moment. I'm not even sure I'm patient enough to make a video. I'm gonna have to edit all of this, and that's a lot of effort. Talking is fun and all that, but editing, and I like editing when I'm not in the mood to have a personality. The problem is I'm not in the mood to make a video until I have a personality, and then when I have a personality, I don't want to give it up just to sit in front of my computer for an hour. So I mean, I say that as if I take so long for editing, which I surprisingly do, which is it's almost funny because the end product is it's not a production or anything. On that note, it would be very fun to make a film, right? I feel, don't we all think about this? Everyone fantasizes about the idea of being able to direct their own thing, make their own idea. You ever just think about it, you're watching a movie or some sort of film, or even just a YouTube video, and you see the scenery, where they're at, and you're oh my gosh, I just want to go around and explore places and find places that appeal to my brain, give me serotonin, and then just make something out of that. Because I mean, I could appreciate any sort of film, no matter what their starting point was, but I find it interesting when people sort of base, or at least they use the aesthetics of it and the location of the filming to actually play into the story, unless it's just something stupid, oh, they're in Paris, or oh, they're at the beach, they're in Florida, you know what I mean? But I'm talking about stuff that's actually interesting, so there's that. I was gonna put out a video where I told people to give me stuff to talk about on Instagram, but then I just was rewatching it just now because it's oh, maybe I'll finally finish editing it, and I was wow, this is really boring. And don't get me wrong, my standards aren't that high for what I put on YouTube. I'm not expecting a masterpiece or anything. I'm not that entertaining. I'm just a person. I'm literally just a human being, and barely even that. But I was just I'm getting bored with myself, and if I don't even find myself entertaining, it's just it's funny, as soon as I get up, turn the lights on, and pull out my laptop, suddenly I'm starting to feel sleepy, and that's very stupid. And I'm just thinking about the fact my brain's McDonald's is open, my brain's like, and I'm like, dude, stop, get some help. Like, no, but also like 3 a.m. is not the right time for breakfast. Like, at least wait 2 hours. Well, the place is open at 5 a.m. Maybe if I wait another 3 hours, 3.5 hours, then I could get some food that doesn't suck. But like, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. And especially since I'm gonna want coffee in the morning, and oh my gosh, it's 3 a.m. If I want to get my 8 hours and actually be rested, then I'm gonna have to sleep until 11, right? That's like halfway through my day. Like, you're really just gonna stay in bed for so long? It feels wrong. It really does feel wrong. Like, staying up, whatever, but sleeping in, like, it's not even a Sunday, dog. It's not even a Saturday, dude. I'm gonna sleep in until like noon, and I know I will. Like, I probably will. Crazy how that happens. What am I even saying at this point? I wonder, I feel like I should like answer some of the stuff that y'all said in like the little like questions, because I'm like, shoot, I feel like I ask people for their like opinion or their thoughts, and then I just forget to ever acknowledge it, which is probably wrong, and I'm like, maybe don't do that. New filter on, woo. I'm using like photo booth or whatever it's called on my computer. Anyways, Asia's suggestion was to talk about my brain, and I'm like, that sounds like a bad idea. Sounds like not very fun. Sounds like not a good time. But like, I'll do it though. But like, it's so difficult to talk about, not because I'm all like shy, but because like, what is my brain? Like, what's going on up here? I don't really know at the moment. I'm kind of just vibing. I mean, I wouldn't say that I'm vibing. Like, I've been vibing more. Like, but this is not a vibe right now. It's only like sort of like maybe like 50% vibing, but the rest of it's just like. You ever get that where you're like, some days you feel like comfy in your brain, and other days you're like, cool, and then other days you're like, get me out of here. I'm sure plenty of people experience that, but I don't know if you like feel it the same way that I do. Where it's like some days I'm literally just like uncomfortable in my own brain. I'm like, this is icky. Like, why? Why is it like this? Like, this is not fun and fresh. This is not cool swag hipster dog. Yeah. But I'm certainly experiencing something with my brain right now because, oh my goodness. My legs, I want to move all the time. Cannot sleep, apparently. And other things that are super fun and exciting. So, that's kind of weird. I honestly think I should just leave it as 2 different thumbs. I kind of like the 2 different thumbs. So that's pretty much the situation, dog. And I love the fact that I can just post videos because I freaking want to. Like, there's no pressure. I'm not making moolah off this. And I mean, obviously I'm not, like, duh. It's just funny because, like, you don't really see people with, when you think of YouTube, you think of, like, famous YouTubers, like people with at least 1,000, not 1,000, 100,000 subscribers, right? But then, like, there's with other platforms like Instagram, everyone has an Instagram, TikTok, like there's plenty of small people on TikTok just posting because they want to. But a lot of people don't post on YouTube just like for fun, just because they want to. You know what I mean? Like, oftentimes the idea with YouTube is that you're gonna do it so that you get fans and so that you get this large following and money and stuff like that. But, like, it's kind of nice to just, it's almost funny to me that I'm just, like, that's the opposite of what I'm doing. And it's, like, the same thing with TikTok, though, but, like, people do a lot of stuff on there because they think it'll, like, trend, or it'll, like, be viral for a little bit. And, like, I've tried to make myself, like, learn the dances and stuff like that, but I just can't bring myself to make content that people actually want to watch. Like, it's not my groove. I kind of feel weird about it. Like, I'll do a trend after it's died. It's not because I just think it's also lame or something. It's just because it just makes me feel weird. Like, it feels very unauthentic. But also, like, I don't judge people for doing it, of course. Like, I'm not saying that to be rude or anything. Just when something becomes a trend and then I do it, I know that I didn't think of that myself. And it's not, like, genuinely expressing something that I'm, like, thinking or feeling in that moment. So I don't it kind of feels like what's the point of it other than literally just doing it to get viral, and I don't exactly expect that to happen. So I'd rather just do things that are fun for me. I don't know if that's necessarily the best mindset to have in today's day and age, just because, you know, making money off the internet's a real thing, and it would be very nice for me to be able to do that because, man, like, why would I want a career? You know what I mean? Like, I'm not the kind of person who's gonna, you know, go to medical school for 8 years. It would be nice if you guys could get me famous on YouTube for making just the bare minimum, putting the least amount of effort into my content. So thanks. Like, comment, subscribe if you guys want to see more of me. Maybe if I want to get famous, I'll have to like make an intro or something, or I have to start like featuring other people. Yeah, no. No. I think I need a haircut, but I have no idea what to do with it. It's kind of just chilling right now, and I'm vibing with it. Like, I don't hate this. I do not hate this. I don't know what it is, but I don't hate it. That's the thing. I don't hate it. And it's kind of red for some reason, kind of like a brown red, and I also don't hate that. I mean, that's not the color I dyed it, but it's doing it, and that's cool, because, like, I think my hair should have its own free will and do whatever it feels called to do, so I support its decisions, and I offer no criticism. The problem is that, like, I am, in fact, mentally sleepy, but, like, physically, like, my legs are telling me to run a couple miles, and I'm like, please, God, just let me sleep. Just let me sleep, please. I would so much rather sleep right now. And instead, I have to go run a marathon. So, peace out, guys, because I gotta go get some laps in so that I can fall asleep. Hopefully, wake up before 12 would be super nice. But also, like, what's the rush? Because might as well spend as much time. I'm trying so hard right now. Might as well end 2020 sleeping. You know what I mean? Like, I might as well just sleep through the rest of this day and just pretend like it didn't happen. But you know what? Time is such a social construct. It's so fake. This is so fake. You guys know that, right? This is so fake. And so just because we have a different number on our calendar doesn't mean anything's going to be different. It doesn't mean COVID's not still a thing. It doesn't mean, I don't know, any of this mess. I don't think 2020 is actually as bad as some people say it is, but maybe that's because I'm not as extroverted as some other people are. Like, don't get me wrong, there were plenty of things that sucked about 2020, but I don't think it was altogether bad, even though technically, being, like, for the age group that I'm in, it's just pretty rough because it's like a transition time, and like transitioning during a pandemic, which affects a lot of things, it kind of sucks, but like things would be complicated and messy anyways. So I just don't think it's that big of a deal if it's a pandemic causing the messiness or something different, you know. The political situation, I mean, that's still a thing. Climate change, that's still a thing. But I'm just saying, like, there are any number of things that could have sucked this year. So, and that could suck any year and will suck every single year. So, no need to demonize this year so much. There are good things and there are bad things, and there will be good things and bad things in 2021 too. So, what's the big deal? Like, it will be weird next year too. I don't know, like, maybe it's because, like, other people maybe other people have a more stability in their lives just because, like, their brains are more stable. But for me, I'm like, I don't know, like, weird stuff happens. Stuff that you, like, would never expect to happen happens. Like, nothing, the future doesn't turn out the way that you're imagining it turning out. So, like, just remove your rigid expectations and go with the flow. Even though normally I don't really, like, necessarily support saying this kind of things, like, think positive and go with the flow and keep moving forward, but, like, sometimes the right thing to think, sometimes that's the right mindset. So I think in this situation, you know, it's just like, yeah, we just gotta keep going with the flow. I mean, we got a pandemic, all right, so we stay home more, we wear masks, we be responsible. Like, I haven't done, like, everything Like, it's not like I only stay home. If I did, I would probably go crazy. But there's always ways around your current issue. And so it kind of feels like a little bit, it's kind of lame when people like made it such a big deal. Like, I understand being worried about a pandemic, but like making a big deal about quarantine, I'm like, there are ways around all of these things. Like, I don't understand why you're freaking out so much about this, because like bad stuff happens, stuff that feels like catastrophic happens, and you just take it as it comes. It doesn't destroy you. You always get past that like really tall hurdle. So, but if anyone was able to realize that specifically this year because of the pandemic or because of other things that happened this year, I mean, good for you. It's a good thing to know. It's a good thing to learn. On one hand, it's terrifying to know that like your worst fears can very well come true. But then, the comforting side of it is that like that's happened before, like the worst thing that you can imagine came true, and then it became something different. And maybe not everyone experiences that, but for me, I'm like, yeah, there are these things that used to feel like they would like crush my world, and then they happened, and I moved on. So, it sucks that bad things have to happen, but you always know that you have the strength to get through them because you've done it before, and you'll do it again, and you're capable of that. Just takes some adjusting and some learning of new coping mechanisms. Welcome for the advice. I hope I totally just learned you guys a thing, but also I'm kind of tired, so I might just be like saying things that are totally obvious and feeling like I'm having these bold conclusions or something. So sorry if I was just preaching to the choir there for a little bit. I just like, I'm not even happy right now. Like, it's not even like I'm feeling positive or anything. I don't have to feel happy to think positively. And I don't even always think that having a positive mindset is the right thing to do. I guess that depends on your definition of a positive mindset. I'm just talking about the kind of overbearing type, where it's like, why be unhappy? Like, you have to be unhappy. It can be very healing to just feel your, like, sadness and your grief. But right now, I'm just thinking, like, things suck sometimes. Sometimes it's 3 a.m. and you can't sleep and you really want a milkshake and you can't get a milkshake because it's going to be too much effort. And you're sad about that. You're sad about the fact that you're probably not going to get a milkshake tomorrow. But you're just like, but it's okay though. It is okay. Because in the grand scheme of things, what's it matter? I've dealt with worse than not getting an Oreo milkshake, so. Dude, I feel like we're such bros right now. I feel like I need to crack open a Bud Light with you or something and go fishing. Like, dang.